screams. Oh, this is terrible. I'm shook up right now. This is terrible.
The violence erupted around 5:20 this afternoon in Chicago's Avalon Park neighborhood. That's when witnesses tell investigators that it was as a vehicle traveled in the 1600 block of East 87th Street that an unknown gunman approached the car and opened fire. A woman was driving with a 21-year-old man and two children inside. Both.
So first of all, you unload on a car and it got kids inside, fam. You unload on a car that got kids in the back, fam. Like, what's wrong with our people, gang? Like, what's wrong with our this generation of young people, man, where we just don't have no values, no morals, man, for nothing, no value of life for nothing, man. It's crazy, bro. It's so crazy. I mean, look at that. They lit that car up, man. And I'm assuming it's the parents, man. They got shot in the head. Like, come on, like this is crazy. When is this epidemic of violence and self-destruction in our community is gonna stop? When is it gonna stop, ladies and gentlemen? Because this is out of control. And this is taking place not just in my city, not just in Chicago. This everywhere. This all over the country right now. This country is a melting, boiling pot for violence and destruction right now. And it's out of control. Like,
Adults were shot in the head and rushed to an area hospital. The Chicago Fire Department says the children were treated at the scene and not transported.
I feel sorry for
man, it's like you don't have a choice but to be sorry for these families, man. These families that's going through all this tragedy, all this death, all this destruction. Man, it's so sad. It's so disheartening, man. But man, I'm just really praying for the day that our people like really wake up. And I know it's not gonna be everybody, but for anybody under the sound of my voice that may come across this video, this content, and you're a young man and you trying to figure it out and you trying to decipher between if you want to live a good life or a bad life and continue gang banging and indulging in the violence of the streets and doing these drugs, man, I just advise you, please, man, my fellow brother and sister, is young ladies out here too doing some of this violence as well. I implore you, please, man, choose a better way. Choose a better way. Because violence and destruction ain't doing nothing but tearing our communities down. It's tearing our generations down. I mean, if you look up, we ain't gonna have no next generation, man, because it's gonna be everybody that took everybody out. Like, and that's just a harsh reality of it. At the rate that our people are going right now with this violence, and I know it's not just our race of people, is other races affected by this as well. Like, we gotta stop it, man. We have to. We have to stand up to our politicians. We have to stand up to those in government and our local offices and whatnot, and let them know, like, yo, we gotta have some change here. But it's gonna take our people to stand up and stand on your own too in your communities to speak up. We can't sit here and complain about the problem if we not helping solve the problem. If that makes sense. Like, we can't sit here and talk about the violence in our communities, and when we see stuff going on, we don't call the police. Like, it just don't make sense. Like, I'm like Charleston White. Like, if I see something going on in my community, like, I pay money to live where I live, and I want to be comfortable. I want to be safe. I want my son to be safe. Like, you want your children to be safe. Come on, man. It's a no-brainer. We have to stand up to evil. We have to stand up to stuff that's not right. We have to. At some point, somebody got to do it. We have to, family. We got to, man. Because this is out of control. The self destruction in our communities, man, is literally an epidemic, man, that's taking us out one by one. One by one. It don't matter what age you are, you got babies being shot. You got young kids, you got older people, you got seniors, 70, 80-year old people getting shot in their communities on they bringing groceries in the house, like on some random stuff. Like, what type of person don't have a heart that you got to go take out somebody granddad, somebody great granddad? These young men off all these drugs and all these pills that they can't even, you can't even just understand, you can't even see what you doing. You're not even thinking about it. These drugs and pills and all this crazy designer stuff going on, man. It's got all our kids' minds twisted up, man. We don't even see value in life. We don't value ourselves. That's the enemy first tactic. Hey, if I can get you to self-sabotage yourself, then go ahead and do it. That's what his job is. And he's doing his job, ladies and gentlemen. But we got to continue to stand up. We got to have faith. We got to pray. We got to do all of that. But at some point, we got to work. We got to work. We got to stand up to it. Because if not, it's just going to be a problem that's going to continue to get stronger and stronger and stronger. Before you know it, it's going to be like, man, you can't even go outside. And a lot of communities are living in that reality right now. They kids can't even go outside and play because they worried about if the guys across the street gonna get into it and start blowing the corner down. You know what I'm saying? Like, what type of life is that? I can't even imagine my young son out here in a community where he had to look over his shoulder and stuff like that. Like, I, man, that's crazy. That's out of control, man. We have to stop, man. Our people gotta wake up, bro. We gotta wake up. It's too much information out here. It's too many people out here that got all these talents and all these gifts, and it can move a crowd. Like, you got leadership skills, but you rather use these skills and use it in the wrong way. You rather get out here and sell poison to your community instead of going to pharmacy school and sell it, you know what I'm saying? Sell drugs legally to help people improve their life. You rather move weight instead of going to get your CDL license to go move loads across America and make really good money doing it. These are things that we have to think about, people. Like, yo, we are using our talents and our skills in the wrong way. And for the big homies that's out here doing this and allowing these young guys to crash out and do the stuff that they doing, man, it's disheartening, man. It's disheartening. It's disheartening, especially for our black men. We know better, man. We know better. Our parents and grandparents and great grandparents, they taught us better than that. But we still choose destruction. That's because the enemy has a stronghold over our lives. And we have to break that stronghold, man. We got to break that stronghold of drugs. We got to break that stronghold of getting in the streets. We got to break that stronghold of lust. We got to break that stronghold of greed, of envy, of all of that crazy stuff, of violence, of domestic violence, all of that. Like, we got to come against those strongholds, people. We have to, man. Cause I'm tired of like turning on the news, man, and seeing this violence erupt in our communities, especially in my city, man. Cause my city in particular, if you come from Chicago, you already know what type of fabric that we cut from, man. And we have to do better because we come from a world class city. We come from a world class city. In all the other cities and towns across America, man, we got to get back to valuing ourselves, valuing our communities. Our great grandparents and grandparents, they didn't work this hard for us to go piss it down the drain and tear the communities down, tear the roads up, tear the communities up. It's trash everywhere. Like it's out of control. But at some point, we have to wake up. We have to wake up. We have to wake up as a people. We have to. It's vital for our existence. We have to. It's vital for the generation that's coming up later on down the line. We have to wake up and we got to stand up, man. But at some point, we got to stop. We got to stop it. We got to value ourselves. We got to value our worth. We got to value what we bring to a community, what we bring to the people around us, what we bring to a workforce, what we bring to a business, like all of that, what we bring to parenting. Value it. Value your life. I don't know about you, but I value my life. I wake up every day and I thank God. Thank you, God, for waking me up this morning, for breathing the breath of life into my body. Thank you, Lord, as I get out of bed today, guide my path, order my steps, allow me to be a blessing to someone today. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to value life, value your relationship with God, value the people that you're going to come into contact with. And understanding, yeah, people gonna get themselves involved and go off the wrong path. It happens, but you gotta bring it back. You gotta reel it back in. You gotta reel life back in and get back on track because guess what? Somebody needs you. Somebody need that idea that you got inside of you. Somebody need that work ethic, that drive that you got. Somebody need it. And I'm encouraging you, young man or young sir, yo, do it. My young kings, my young princesses, man, do it. Get out here and use your talents and your gift for something positive. Stop pouring this poison back into these communities, man, and tearing down lives. We tearing down lives. We tearing down family trees. Every time somebody get shot or get stabbed or get killed or get put in jail, we tearing down family trees. It's sickening, man. But we have to value our lives, period. We got to. We got to. And I'm just letting y'all know, man. That was on my mind. I seen that and I was like, you know what? This is crazy. And everything that else that I see on social media, we see it all day long. This person, this thing, this happening. There was a shooting here, blah blah blah. Somebody stole this, blah blah blah. Like it's never ending. But at some point, we gotta say, you know what, man? Like, what can I do to help? What can I do to uh, change the narrative for our young generation, our young men? How can I do that? How can I use my gifts and my talents to pour back into somebody in need? And not even if they involved in the streets, but some people just come up in a bad situation. They come up poor. They come up with no money. I'm a young football coach of my son football team. It's kids that come to practice. They parents just drop them off. Don't care. They don't even know how to tie their shoes. You know what I'm saying? They don't even know how to tie their shoes. They don't know, like, they ain't never been outside the state. They ain't never traveled nowhere. They ain't never experienced things. They don't even wear some of the kids, like, they might wear the same thing every day. Every time you can like, dang, you got the same, like, this is what our kids and our youth are dealing with every single day. Teachers see it. Teachers see it when your kids go to school. Like, dang, like this kid got the same clothes on that he had on like last week or 2 days in a row. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like it get real, man. But it starts with value, man. We have to value it. How to value our kids, value our jobs, learn how to keep a job for more than 6 months, learn how to be humble, have humble beginnings. So as you grow within your career and elevate, you'll know how to manage each area of finances when it gets to that point. Like we have to do it, family. We have to. And Lord, I thank you, Lord, for just giving me this message because it gotta be said. And a lot of people preaching the same thing. But I had to bring it in my own way because it was on my spirit. I'm like, yo, we gotta value. I'm tired of seeing these shootings, man. I'm tired of seeing people go to funerals and stuff, man. Like, I'm tired of seeing, parents bury kids. Like, that's crazy. And if you don't feel that, then you don't have a heart, man. Like, but I pray that you get one. I pray that you get one for sure. But man, I just wanted to say that, man. All right. I pray that everybody in that situation makes it out. You know what I'm saying? Especially them young kids. RIP to anybody that then lost loved ones due to gun violence. And with any city that you, any inner city that you in, my heart and my prayers go out to you, because I know that's serious and that's nothing to take lightly. Losing a loved one for sure. I mean, I done lost loved ones to gun violence, and it don't feel right. You know what I'm saying? It's like knowing that somebody just took you out. They took you off this earth. They tricked you out of your position. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the part that get me upset. It's like, man, you a person they just take your life like that for no reason, all over something that was probably as petty as two nickels rubbing together. We got to do better, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, man. We have to find ways to be able to pour back into our youth. So this week, I challenge you, and I'm gonna challenge myself too, to bless somebody in need this week, whether it's a child, whether it's a coworker, whether it's a friend. Choose one person this week and be a blessing unto them. I don't care what you do. You can give them a stick of gum. You can, buy 'em some socks. You can treat them to lunch. Whatever God put on your heart to be a blessing unto somebody that He strategically places inside of your life, and you will know it. You will know because you'll be in a situation like, dang, like I never even talked to this person before, or I barely talked to them, and they finally opened up. You will know when it's been ordained by God. You know what I'm saying, and orchestrated by Him. But I challenge you this week: be a blessing to at least one person this week. One person. If you're a teacher, be a blessing to a young kid this week, a young child. Do it. I challenge you. But again, man, I thank you guys for tuning in to the King Minded Podcast, man. You can check us out on all our social media platforms, man. You already know the vibes, man. You know the vibes, man. King Minded Media, King Minded Podcast, man. You already know Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Apple Music, Spotify. We all over, man. We all over. We streaming everywhere. We streaming everywhere, man. Threads. You can catch us on a few threads too, man. But I just wanted to come through today and just bless my people. You already know here on the King Minded Podcast, we are empowering our people. You know what I'm saying? We empowering our people one person at a time, man. And that's what I wanted to do today and just come to y'all and just rap like, yo, we got to do better. We got to do better. My city, Chicago, you already know the vibes. Hey, we got to do better. We got to clean it up. Got to clean it up. To my youth out here, man, get involved. Get involved. Get out the streets, man. Definitely get out the streets for sure. Ain't nothing there. Ain't nothing there but jail or hell, man. So go ahead, get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? But until we meet again, man, it's your boy Joe B, aka your big brother Chicago Rilla, and you have tuned in to the King Minded Podcast, man. Until we meet again, you already know the vibes, man. Be safe out here. Be safe out here to my drivers, my truck drivers. Keep it in between the mayonnaise and the mustard, man. You already know the vibes. It's King Mighty Podcast. Till we meet again, I'll holler at y'all. Peace.